Hi, Ed 407-507. We're going to look at our topic this week, which is word problem typology. I'm going to be introducing Bloom's taxonomy to you real quick, but I'll get to the point of why we're using this. Bloom's taxonomy, as you can see, it goes from the bottom to the top of the triangle if you've never been familiar with this. Evaluation and synthesis is considered to be at the very top, and this is typically above grade level thinking. Analysis and application is right on grade level, and comprehension and knowledge is below grade level thinking. And as you know, we have to build that foundation, especially in the area of math, in order for students to move up this pyramid. So my question to you is, what level are your word problems at? Take a look at your curriculum, flip it open, and just go to a word problem and see what level they might be at. In order to figure that out, here are some verbs that can tell you that you most likely will see in your word problems to determine what level of questioning they are at. You might have them at the very basic, or you might have them very high. The thing I want to push the most is that students can certainly use higher order thinking skills in math. And I would push for you to do this even with students who struggle, because for them to be able to explain to you how they know what to do is the highest order of thinking. They're debating and justifying their rationale behind solving a problem, which is that very, very high order of thinking. But you might be thinking, what does this have to do with word typology? Well, word problems and story problems can be structured at any level of Bloom's taxonomy. Sometimes our students are asked to use higher order thinking skills. As we instruct our students at multiple learning levels, we must take this into consideration. We must figure out where our students are at, even including their reading abilities, and modify if necessary so that the learning objectives can still get across. If our students are lacking that background or foundational knowledge behind a concept, then it might be really difficult for them to apply those higher order thinking skills to solve a problem, which makes sense. If you have a student who is really struggling, they're not going to be able to figure out using higher order thinking skills to solve a problem. We might have to reword that problem to still get across the main idea, to still see if they have the knowledge, but might not ask it at such a high level of expectation. So let's go ahead and take a look at word problem typology just to get an idea of what this looks like. I'm going to go over 4 different types: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. I did include algebra, but we're not going to go that much in depth onto this. I'm going to give you basically just the knowledge that you need to know to basically move forward. There are 3 types of addition and subtraction word problems. There's change, combine, compare. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Change is when some quantity is being increased or decreased. This usually is in a sequence of beginning, middle, and end. An example of this is Rosie has 12 charms on her bracelet but lost 2. How many charms does she have now? Combine is taking 2 quantities, combining them or mixing them. And an example of this would be that there are 23 students in Ms. Taubin's class, 25 students in Ms. Buchanan's class, and 21 in Mr. White's class. How many students are in the 3 classrooms? A compare obviously is a comparison between 2 quantities using the relationship. Typically we find the words more, less, or fewer. So an example of this is Kelsey has 10 more CDs than Allison. If Allison has 25 CDs, how many does Kelsey have? Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one, which is multiplication and division. There are 4 types to this one: restate, Cartesian product, vary, and area. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Restate. This is comparison, multiplicative comparison relationship that can be expressed between 2 distinct but similar things. Each has a common property that can be counted. One is described in 2 different ways. For example, Kay is twice as old as her sister. Kay is 20 years old. How old is her sister? Okay, the next one. Vary is the equivalent sets the expression of a per unit value, typically like this. Ribbon costs $2.50 per yard. How much would it cost to buy 2.5 yards of ribbon? A Cartesian product is a set ordering pairs in which you can pair elements of one set with the elements of another set in a specific way, such as using a tree diagram or a set of ordered pairs. An example of this could be, it is field day at your child's school. You have volunteered to help sell ice cream. Students can buy ice cream in a cup or a cone and can choose either vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry. How many different combinations can there be? Area is the last one. This is an array of rows and columns. Yvonne has a small garden behind her apartment. She decides to plant 50 carrots in her garden. She must plant them 10 inches apart. Yvonne is very OCD and needs the same number of carrots in each row. What are the possible ways she can arrange this? And last but not least is algebra. Like I said, I'm not going to give you very much in-depth information other than the three different types, which are relational, proportional, and two variable two equations. Relational is when one value is expressed in terms of another. Proportional is when one set of data is used to compare one or more other sets. And two variables, two equations are two unknowns, and one equation becomes an elaboration of the other. So now that I've gone over this, you might want to print this off so you can have it as a guide to help you with your quiz, but you can go ahead and start taking your quiz. You're ready to do it. If you have any questions or need any help with this, as always, please let me know. Thanks.